Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beal Dustino coming at you again today in 2024, participating in a vinyl tag. First one of the year on that. But Rachel's Ghost has got a little thread going right now, and she's got a great channel. If you haven't checked her out, live stream almost every morning, I believe, and just fun content. Big vinyl record lover and the Beatles lover too. Do check her out. And I've been seeing so many other people jump in on this tag, especially Matthew Street. I want to give you a big thanks for that shout out you gave me on that towards the end of the bonus question there. Yeah, I thought I'd hop into this. It sounded like a lot of fun, and it's not often we find these vinyl community tags like this that are Beatles-centric, completely Beatles-centric. Of course, whenever I do these, I try to turn them into a Beatles-centric one for the most part. And this one, I don't have to do that. So we're right there already. But yeah, we got quite a few questions here. Oh, and I lost my notes. Let's find them again here. So the first one, and this one seems to be the one that takes the most time for everybody. But so Rachel wants us to show an album, a Beatles album we have with the most copies, whether it be formats or just how many issues of it you got, so forth and so on. You know, it immediately hit me. I'm like, I think I know which one it is. I think I know, because, you know, you always gotta.
That's a fascinating little gadget. It's going to replace CDs soon, so I'll have to buy the White Album again.
And sure enough, after I got adding everything up, yeah, it is totally the White Album. And here's one of my first copies. Not one of the first ones. This is actually probably my most recent one of it. My cousin gave me this one, and it's a fairly original pressing. It's even got the number on it, so I think this is one of the original pressings. This is a UK pressing, and it's quite butchered together. I think these very original White Album jackets really got a story to tell on all of them. You haven't seen one the same. I mean, let alone the numbering. What's happened to them over the 50 plus years that they've been out. But this one's no longer a gatefold. It's all kind of taped together, and it's inside out too. I figured out, because when you look inside here, the back is actually on the inside there. So. Well, the back side of what would be the gatefold is on the inside of the sleeve there. So, but very interesting. There's one copy though. I'm talking too much on just that. Up next, I got another vinyl copy here. This one's an 80s pressing. I picked this up. My cousin got that probably in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. I got this in Minneapolis also at Electric Fetus in Minneapolis. Decent price on it. It's an 80s pressing, very early 80s pressing, and I was really shocked. It had everything in here, and it's on the Rainbow Capital label. I'm not going to pull it out. But yeah, there's that copy of it. Sticking with the vinyl, I too got the Beatles and the Easter demos here that came out for the 50th anniversary with the Giles Martin remix and all that. And this is the Beatles and the Easter demos, kind of the big vinyl box set that came out that year. I guess we'll move into, we'll go with the older formats first. We'll kind of do the vinyl, and we'll do 8-track. So what we got so far? 3? So here we got 8-track, and I've only got part 1. I don't have part 2. This is another thing that my cousin gave me a while back, and I don't think this is the correct sleeve for it. So we'll pull it out of the sleeve here. It's only program 1. I don't have the second cassette, so I guess that's only a half a copy there. And speaking of cassettes, we got the compact cassette next, and this one I do got both parts, so part 1 and part 2. So weird that they package them separately like this, but these were, I think, later 80s or early 90s issues of it. So these ones got the XDR and all that, so should be pretty good sounding if I had a cassette deck that worked pretty well, and they are in fantastic shape. Absolutely fantastic. Speaking of my cousin giving me that stuff, this my boss gave me, so thank you, boss. We'll go CD next. That would be kind of the next in the line, and I'm going to start with, so where are we at here? 2. What's our count on this? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 on the vinyls, half on the 8-track, 1 more on the cassettes, so we're up to 4.5. So this will be number 5. And this is the very early issuing of the CD. You can see it's even got the numbering on that. And they didn't have it in the big fatty jewel case to begin with, just like they did with the cassettes and the 8-tracks. I've got it in this sleeve, just kind of keep them together. But yeah, you got 2 separate CDs there. Otherwise, it's totally the same as the rest of the 87 releases. But then later on in 87, so this will be now 6.5. They had the fatty jewel case came out. And there you can see it's in the white jewel case and the white label on them. Next one up, and I'm not going to really pull this out too much, but for the 30th anniversary, they did this nice little package. I believe you could only get this in the UK. When I got hunting one down, and it's kind of like mini LP. It does have a clear, which has now turned quite yellow over the years, sleeve there, and it's very hard to find with a decent one of those sleeves. So if you are looking for this particular package, and this one's also numbered too. I just remembered that. Next up, I'm kind of just going, yeah, we'll do that one last. So next up would be the 2009 stereo mastering, 2009 stereo remaster, and that's this one out of my 2009 box set. And I've also got an individual copy that's still sealed, and it's still got the hype sticker there, that I got to keep in my little cool crates. I think you've seen those videos I've done, but that's my sealed copy of the 2009 stereo remaster. And then out of my mono box set, in mono box, there is the mini LP mono version of it. Yeah, that one's really cool. Like I said, I'm not going to pull these all out. And then it hit me, and I've totally been losing track on the count here. So where are we at here? 3 on the vinyl, a half on the 8-track, full 1. So bringing it up to 4 with the cassettes, 4, 5, 6 on the CDs. So bringing it up to, and now I lost count again. Math was never my strong suit, at least not in this form that I'm doing here. So let's see. 10 and a half. Wow. So 11 and a half. And this should almost be considered a quarter. This is also the in mono, but this is out of my fake in mono box set. That kind of hit me as I was setting up for this. I'm like, wait a second, I got one more copy. Yeah, I do. So there we go. So 10 and 3/4 now, something like that. It is a whole album in there, but also show this, the Beatles and the Easter demos again. This was the CD release, just the 3-disc set. So this had the album with the 2-disc, and then the bonus disc with the Easter demos. So from the anniversary edition from 2018. And speaking of that, we'll get the big boy out, the box set here. There is my copy there. That's a lot of white albums. A lot. Let's see. Let's get the official total. I'll pause and edit it here so you'll see a nice little wipe. Let's see. Okay, so I seem to be at 13 and a half. If I'm counting this up right. I lost track somewhere. I don't know. Words in the corner will help me. As I edit it, I can maybe count it better there. But yeah, 13 and a half if we're only counting the half on the 8-track there, seeing as I don't got the second half. But anyways, wow, that took a while. So question number 2 is just show a bootleg album. I don't have a lot of bootlegs. I tend to stay away from them, but one that I did want to get, and surprise, surprise, a couple years later they issued out an official version. But I picked up, I knew it was going to be fake. It was the Glyn Johns final compilation. It says here, the Get Back album. And it's this supposedly Japanese copy, but I think they actually come out of Russia. Kind of mini LP style CD. I love mini LPs, so I thought that was cool. It wasn't that expensive, and I was just like, yeah, I'll pick it up. Why not? And then I can hear what the Glyn Johns mix sounds like. But then yeah, Apple just goes and issues the official one anyway. I wish they'd do that with a bunch more too, so that way we didn't have to buy the bootleg. The third question is your last Beatles album that you purchased, and I guess I didn't pull this off the shelf yet, but we'll count this one. It's kind of 2 in 1, but the Beatles 1962 to 1966 and 1967 to 1970, the new 2023 expanded edition and remix. So the Giles Martin remix on that. And there's my CD box set. I'm going to count this one. I'm going to show this one as this is the last one that I got, because this took forever to get the CD box here in the States. And it sounds like, I thought it was just me that got delayed. It sounds like it was everybody. I do also got the big vinyl set, so that would have been my second to last one, I guess. And really, if you count it in order of when I purchased it online, that would be the last one too. So there we go. All right, let's see. Next up, we got show a solo album by your favorite Beatle. And Paul is definitely my favorite Beatle, and I decided I'm just going to go with my favorite Paul McCartney album, which is technically a Paul and Linda McCartney album, but Ram. I absolutely love this album. I was just saying to one of my commenters on another video I did that I showed a different copy of this album. He was saying how much he loved this album, and I said I love it so much too, and I feel like if I don't listen to it often enough, I feel like I go through withdrawals. Like I got to hear it. So So there we go. There's Ram. I don't got too many albums I get like that with. So moving on to the next question, the fifth question. She wants us to show a non-UK or US Beatles album. This one was tricky, but I did have one. I did have one, the one and only, and it's Canadian, but the Twist and Shout, which would have been the second Canadian release. The first one really is just with the Beatles, with just a slightly different title and a slightly different cover. But this one was a pretty true to Canada, its own mix, which looking at the track list, and I think I saw somebody else show this too in one of their videos. Yeah, it's pretty much Please Please Me. Just kind of in a different order. Yeah, there's my copy. I somehow found it here in North Dakota. No, I do not live in Canada, Matthew Street. I live in North Dakota, but I do got a Canadian album that I found in North Dakota. But we're only about, I don't know, little more than an hour's drive from the border where I'm at here, so straight north. Just hit on the interstate, which isn't far from my place here either, so not too hard to get there. I could be on the interstate on the way to Canada in the matter of minutes. All right, there we go. But yeah, and they wrote their names next to it and then crossed it off. I don't know what happened there. I love these old jackets when you see this, and kind of the story. I know some people, they want it so mint and everything, but I think it's kind of fun when you find stuff like this and trying to figure out in your mind what they were thinking back then, what their thought process was on it. Did they eventually start hating each individual one and they crossed them out as they did and they eventually started hating all four of them? I don't know. That's a pretty crazy theory there. But anyways, there's Twist and Shout, my Canadian album. Next up is show a Beatles single or EP. Again, I don't have a lot. I got like CD stuff. I do got that in box sets, and I do got the singles box set that came out not long ago. I haven't really got into collecting too many singles, especially like the old vinyl singles. I think I'm still working on the albums, so I'm kind of, I'll hold off on the singles until I've got the albums kind of completed type thing. I've got like my CD singles too, of like Real Love and Free as a Bird, and then of course Now and Then just came out, and I've got all those on, a lot of them on vinyl too. But I thought I would do something a little different and something I have not showed on my channel yet. A Beatles thing I've not shown on my channel yet, and another rare thing, I've only got one picture disc. Actually, I got two. The one I don't know, it's a odd souvenir type thing, so I'm not going to totally count that. Maybe I'll show that one day. But yeah, this is my Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby picture disc that came out a few years back, and I hadn't even opened this until recently. But yeah, I'll pull it out and we'll show it there. It's got that cool kind of on the back there. I guess I've never shown it, so we'll do it up fully here. Pull out the picture disc, the Yellow Submarine on the A side, and then the Eleanor Rigby with the guys on the B side there. Pretty cool. Not the biggest picture disc fan. This, when it came out, I saw it and I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it wasn't terribly expensive, if I remember correct, so I just picked up a copy. And that was my whole motivation then. I kept it more as a collectible for the longest time. I didn't even open it up until sometime last year, I want to say. And up next, the seventh question. So this one, I kind of interpreted it, and I think Rachel was meaning we could show either just a song off of an album or an entire album that was a cover of the Beatles. So either just a single song on the album or a whole album that was a cover of theirs. I was thinking about getting the Smithereens out, but then I got hit in me, and I've been kind of rearranging some stuff, and this is sitting right on top of my pile right here. And so it wasn't even anything I had to dig out, and I absolutely love this cover and kind of the surprise of it when I got this album. I got listening to these guys in the late 90s. I know I was working a job where I worked, I think, until 11 o'clock at night, and I'd get home, and there wasn't much on TV, and it was before you had DVR and all that stuff, so I'd sit and watch some TV and that, and I usually ended up, as it was getting later and later into the night, I'd venture over to MTV, and that's the only time that they really played it. Videos, and it seemed like every night I caught this video for the longest time. It was this one and Marcy Playground Sex and Candy seemed to be the two hot ones, but it was Corner Shop and Brimful of Asha. I absolutely love that song. I rushed out to get the CD, the album, after I heard it, and surprise, surprise, the last song on here is Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown. They're Indian background. They're from the UK, but they're Indian descendants, so descendants from India. Am I saying that right? I guess they sing it actually in Hindi, so a very kind of unique version of that, and I've always loved that cover of it, so very cool. And I will show that one. It just happened to be right up on top of my CD pile here that I'm rearranging, so, and I don't think I've ever shown that on my channel either, so, or talked about Corner Shop. I absolutely love that album. That's a great album. I knew I'd forget to grab something. Well, we'll just go with the CD. I was going to get the vinyl out. Let me find the CD. Once again, edit. And I know I'm kind of cheaping out here. Everybody's been doing this one. I think also because it's just right there and on top of everybody's pile and on top of everybody's mind. But I absolutely love this album. I'm going to show this every time I get a chance. And it is Rolling Stones' newest, Hackney Diamonds. And of course, Paul McCartney does join them as a guest performer, playing that really cool fuzz bass on Bite My Head Off. Wow, I really had to think about that. I think I was doing too hard reading it and not thinking about it just off the top of my head, riffing with it. But yeah, Bite My Head Off. I know Mean Mr. Mayo said this same album and same song on his thread on this, but I really like that song. I look forward to hearing that every time I listen to the album. And I keep teasing that it's coming, and I'm still working out the details on the Dustino score, but I am going to be doing album reviews, and Hackney Diamonds, I have decided, is going to be my first victim of a Beatles Dustino album review. So be on the lookout for that. I'm hopefully coming up soon. I'm still trying to get like a ranking, a point system on what I'm going to rank the album with, and just trying to work out the details in my head yet, and trying to make it fun and just kind of lighthearted and not kind of like Giggins. I like how he does his album rankings. Kind of, I'll give it a 10. I'll give it an 8. Kind of like that, but it's a very Dustino style, lighthearted fun, but still giving it a little review and a ranking of some sort. Yeah, Hackney Diamonds will be my first on that, so teasing that again. Next up, show a non-LP, non-album item, so memorabilia type thing, or book, or something not related to physical media, music, so CD, vinyl, whatever. And right away it came to my head, and another thing I've never shown on my channel, so a lot that I've never shown on my channel, but I got thinking of my, and I never dust off stuff. It's sitting in my room getting all dusty. Yeah, I've decided the Beatles love ukuleles. I kind of think ukuleles are fun too. And I decided I'm going to buy one and try to learn how to play it. And I purchased this, not thinking this is more of a decorative item than it is an actual thing that you can play. But what I'm going to do, it's been sitting in this box forever, and it hit me one day. I got a little space there. I got the McFarlane John Lennon Yellow Submarine figure hanging there in the box. I'm going to take that down, and I'm going to get a cool little display to kind of display this up on the wall. But we'll do a little unboxing of it here. Got the product registration down in the box. I have had this out. It's not that it's the first time I've opened it up. So I have looked at it. And this one, I got the rubber sole one. I know when this line of them came out, there was, I think, 4. At least it shows on the box there. I think there were some more. Yeah, I thought the rubber sole one looked really cool. So I picked it up. And there it is, like cool purple with the orange. You do got the Beatles drum kit head in the inside there. And it does even come with a pick. No, not Beatles related or anything, or a plectrum, I think you call it in the UK. Nice little piece. Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, I've had it. I'm not a musician. However, my buddies did get me an actual, like, playable type ukulele, and I've picked at it, but I've not got to the point where I know what I'm doing yet at all with it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hang this up on the wall there in that spot, because it's just sitting in the box and not being really enjoyed, and I thought that'd be a nice little decoration in the background of my videos there. I will wrap that up after I'm done here, so we can get moving on. Last question, the 10th question is, and I forgot to do the whole number 9 thing on the number 9. There we go, the ukulele. Got a number 9. Strum something out for you. I don't even know a chord yet, but the last question is your favorite Giles Martin remix. And I'm going to go, I know Rachel did the same. It's probably my favorite album out of the ones that have been out so far. And I've really enjoyed this box ever since it came out. And even the bonus tracks, all the outtakes and stuff, I've really loved hearing the kind of the evolution of the songs and that. I think there were some very cool moments on that, even with that. But the remix itself was really good. I really enjoyed the remix and of the main album, and just everything about this box I've really enjoyed. And I'm looking forward to hopefully Rubber Soul getting the treatment next year. I did really love the Red album on the recent thing, but I can't credit a compilation as a favorite. I'm sorry. I like the main albums. So, and then the bonus, she said just to shout out another Beatles centric YouTube channel. And oh God, there's so many. I already mentioned Me and Mr. Mayo. I mentioned and thanked again Matthew Street for giving me that beautiful shout out. I always got to mention Beatley Tone, Beatle Brad, his love of colored vinyl. I mean, we all know it here. Let's see. I have some favorites of mine, I guess. They're all my favorites. Andrew Dixon really got me kind of into it all. I really enjoyed watching his stuff. Beatley Tone, when he came along, I really got into his. He actually encouraged me to start it, so I always got to give him a mention. I know Beatle Dave, I've really been enjoying watching him. I know Rachel mentioned him too. Polygram Auctions, there's so many great ones, and I feel like they all deserve something. Another one, kind of a smaller channel just getting started, Keir Smith, I believe, out of the UK, and I love his My Fab Four, that he picks his 4 favorite songs off of the albums. So many. I watched way too many. I don't know where I got time to get anything else done. I'm watching so many Beatles things on YouTube and making my own content to put onto YouTube. Yeah. So there we go. That will be my my answer to the thread here. Hopefully it hasn't got too long. I feel like it has, but of course with the edit it'll maybe shrink it down a little bit, as I feel like it's been way long in this. So seeing as I feel like it's going way long, I'm going to get wrapping up. Before I do, though, as I didn't say it in the beginning, I never do with these vinyl community ones really, but I just want to thank all my subscribers and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. As I say, if you've stuck around to this point, you must like it, so please give it a like. And do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Instead of leaving a comment, well, do leave a comment that you made a video, but if you got a channel, make a video, respond to Rachel's thing here. Or if you don't have a channel, just leave in the comment your answers to these questions. So, and I'll have a link to Rachel's original video in the description down below there too. But before I get rambling too much more, I am going to get signing out. I am Beatle Dustino, signing out.